This is Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. We're on Xbox Series X. The game has now been given an FPS boost. So with that, you're actually having to go to My Games and Apps and turning it on if you want to have it apply. So with it applied, you'll get 60 FPS, and you will lose a good chunk of the resolution. So it goes from like a native 4K down to 900p, which is quite a drop. Actually, I don't know if it was pure native. Can't remember off the top of my head, but it was close to a 4K resolution. And now you go to 900p, and it looks very, very rough visually in regards to like the character models, the environment, a lot more jagged, especially in some of the housing and the city locations. You get like quite a drop in quality, and I mean even now it looks like a significant lowering of the visual offering in this one. So anyways, like I was saying, resolution boost applied, or frame rate boost applied, you drop the resolution quite a bit. It's a choice, otherwise it's just going to run at the 4K 30 or whatever it is. Now you just get that 900p at 60 FPS, which feels obviously way more fluid. It feels a lot better during combat and many other scenarios. And then on top of that, it has HDR support, which I had to turn off for this recording, because it creates this really insanely washed out image for the game. That kind of ruined a previous recording I did in order to show this off. I was a little disheartened about that because I had a really cool spot that was being presented where essentially you were seeing the end of this kid's parental father kind of dealing with certain situations during a fixture change from a snowy terrain to a more summery type terrain, and there was good like cinematic bits, and it was really, really perfectly set up. And then I had to replay a bunch of this like training for the kid and stuff, and yeah, I didn't really like that because it doesn't really make sense that you all of a sudden get all this hunting kind of stuff that you go through. But whatever the case is, it's it's kind of well set, and it's a good spot to show you the natural world of Assassin's Creed 3. And again, in case it wasn't clear, I've turned HDR off for the purpose of recording because it made everything super, super glowy. So I'm hoping that's kind of fixed here by adjusting that. There's something about the way the lighting is done in this one when you do the recording with it through the DVR system. It just kind of totally like, I mean, I could have used the footage, but it was like ultra glowy, and I was like, people are going to be like, what is this? And yeah, so that's why I had to adjust it. But it does have HDR support, and the game actually does look really good, when it has that resolution quality applied. It looks a lot rougher here. I mean, it's not like the worst, but when you look at like Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered or the Ezio Collection and stuff, it's like this one is quite a bit lowered on the TV quality wise, and it's like more pop-it and stuff. It's just, yeah, it's quite a disappointment in my opinion, seeing that big change. But of course, you want that high frame rate, which feels a lot better for movement and gameplay and hunting and everything like that. Obviously, the FPS boost is the way to go, and you can make that choice, but you have to apply the FPS boost if you do want it to see it in action. So anyways, Assassin's Creed 3 also comes with Liberation, and I'm not showing that one gameplay-wise today because whenever I do a standalone thing on Liberation, it doesn't really get as much love as the main Assassin's Creed 3 does. Are those beavers? Anyways, yeah, which is quite a shame because honestly, the Liberation game, which also gets this boost applied, is definitely worth checking out. I actually think it's quite delightful and a neat sort of setting, like a New Orleans type thing where you play as a female assassin, doing more like in general. 3 and Liberation are a lot more focused on, I guess you would say, stealth-based play, a more traditional Assassin's Creed gameplay style, as opposed to the later ones, which blend more and more towards an RPG element when it comes to the experience. So this one, obviously, in the Americas, is definitely a big change over the last couple Assassin's Creed games. This one sort of really opens things up quite a bit. You get more and more modern-type towns, a little less verticality, I want to say, and then you've also got this big natural area on the outskirts of the map. So this is like one section here. I don't know if I can actually see the other areas right now with this character because I was out in the wilderness. It's a little bit different when you switch perspectives and you have to hop in here with the main character of the game in comparison playing as the father, because obviously that's a full grown character with a bit of a neat twist on that, and then obviously a younger one coming in and trying to learn the ropes of the trade and everything like that, which is kind of fun. But yeah, you do get the benefit across the experience. It seems with the cutscenes and that too. It just feels a lot better having the higher frame rate. I think it adds a nice level of sort of realism to the movement and stuff. But yeah, just that the resolution just absolutely plummets as you end up playing,
What?
as a different character and stuff.
I
It's it's definitely an interesting trade-off. There's a few games that do this. It's just weird that a number of the Assassin's Creed games
Go away. I'm not leaving.
have benefited from having the resolution and the frame rate, so it's a little disappointing that this one couldn't do that. I mean, I'd even take it if it had occasional drops just to keep the resolution quality, because I think this one looks really nice when it's been given, that sort of improvement to the quality of it. I think it really does add a, I don't know, nice quality of life. There's also better density and such within the game's environments for not only, like, I guess, maybe animals and stuff, but also, like, when you go to cities and such, you see a lot more people density, a lot of folks moving around, which, again, is such a shame because my, the video I had set up for this one prior was so perfectly set with big set pieces and stuff. It's quite frustrating, but that's how it goes sometimes in the recording business. You run into issues and you go, ah. But this is also a neat spot because you get to kind of get an idea of who the main character is. The other one almost leads to a bit of a mystery, but this is kind of a bit of a proper showcase. You do still get cutscenes and stuff, which is nice. A bit of an understanding there because you want to see both elements of the game, not only like the gameplay element of you moving around, but also the cinematic portions, because these are heavily set games. Now, the opening of it could be a little bit boring for some. I actually found the first few levels alright, or well, sequences, but then like the training parts for this character I thought were just really weird and boring because they kind of go over a lot of that stuff with the other character, if that makes sense. So it was a weird slow down repeat of things you probably already know from doing the first few sequences of the game, or you maybe should have. So yeah, this is just kind of like the becoming of the assassin. It is also neat seeing the different representation in this game too. Personally, I found that quite interesting for this one. And it does include also the DLC as well, the Tyranny of Washington, if you want to play some extra stuff. It's got like the full package in here. And like I said, you're really missing out if you don't give, Liberation a try as well.
I apologize if I've been unclear or otherwise confused you with my words. It was never my intention to mislead. So let me try to clarify. Get the hell off my land.
Whoa.
Coming up!
Now we've got to be all climby. But yeah, sometimes the movement system in this is frustrating too, I found. Definitely a little bit better in some of the later creeds, but also a little bit more refined over previous ones too.
Hear me out. What are you so afraid of? Afraid? You think I'm afraid of anything? Least of all a self-important little scab like you? Or you might dream of being a hero, of riding to rescues, of saving the world. But stay this course, and the only thing you're gonna be is dead.
But he's gotta die sometime.
The world's moved on, boy. Rescued you too. I will not leave, do you hear me? I'm never leaving. Just wait, old man.
Very rainy days, that's for sure. But I do really love like the architecture and the look of the locations in this one. You get to visit some really neat spots, especially the old school towns in that. They're quite dense, but also fairly spacious, of course, for the era. It's just neat. Uh-oh.
These are square toes. This'll be easy.
That's what you said last time, and I wound up with a dead horse and a dark eye.
Who are you?
No one you need concern yourself with, little britches.
Best cut for something bad happens.
No.
Can't say we didn't warn ya.
Oh, we get some combat, which is the real treat when it comes to the, you know, the game of Creed, really, is just how the combat and stuff's handled. Well, I'm saying that mostly with the fluidity feels way better for combat scenarios, whether you're using the bow or you're cutting folks up.
Yield, boy. Do you quick.
Ow. Dual tomahawks are kind of like really badass. Whoa! Yeah, and it's kind of gruesome.
Yield, boy.
You're only making things worse.
Yield, boy. Do you quick.
Very satisfying. Very hardcore.
Why are you here? What do you want?
Best ask the boss man.
Ow.
You working for the old man, then? That it?
Assassin.
Maybe this will get you talking. Oh. Thank you.
Clean this up. Then I suppose we should talk.
Ooh, about learning the creed. Very slow build up, obviously. Where did we put the bodies? I guess that's the secret between him and the old man.
Sorry.
Not your fault. This whole place is ready to come down. Goddamn miracle it hasn't already. Anyway, who are you?
My name is Rado Hangado.
Right. Well, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Now, tell me why you're here.
I was told to seek this symbol.
Do you even know what that symbol represents? Or what it is you're asking for?
No.
And yet, here you are.
The spirit said that I am...
These spirits of yours have been harassing the assassins for centuries. Ever since Ezio uncorked the bottle.
Ezio?
But you don't even know what an assassin is, do you? Well, they're settled in then. I've got a story to tell, and it's gonna take a while to get it all out.
Be funny if the chair broke again. Let me tell you what happened in the previous games.
And so, this is why the assassins have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of the Templars. Because if they succeed, your spirit's visions will become reality.
Then I will stop them.
Oh, I have no doubt you'll try. Come on, I've something to show you. Careful. It wasn't a joke when I said this place was coming apart.
Why don't you repair it?
What's the point? Besides, I don't have materials for the job.
So buy them.
Look at me. You think I can just march into some store, purse full of pounds, and go shopping?
Yes. Why not?
You're so naive. This way.
The secret assassin's basement? Oh my god. How convenient. An outfit right there. That's all you need, right, to be an assassin.
I don't think you can just come in here, throw those on, and call yourself an assassin.
I did not. I would never presume.
That's all right. I know they've a certain allure. Very well. I'll train you. Then we'll know if you've the right to wear those robes.
Thank you.
Name's Achilles. Come on, then. We've work to do.
Where have we seen that guy before?
A nothing. You and all your kind. Living in the dirt like animals. Oblivious to the true ways of the world.
What do the Templars want?
What they've always wanted. Control. They see an opportunity in the colonies. A chance for new beginnings, unfettered by the chaos of the past. This is why they backed the British. Here they have a chance to illustrate the merits of their beliefs. A people in service to the principles of order and structure.
I have seen what is to come if they succeed. They have to die, don't they? All of them.
Oh.
Even my father.
What?
Especially your father. He's the one holding the whole thing together.
Crazy. Oh yeah, that's part of the progress. You have to get so many. You do the side missions, you get higher progress when you're doing stuff. Also loads faster.
So
you know the other
trained
improvements you would expect.
And running and climbing.
I'm glad we
fighting,
skipped that.
And falling. And for every lesson that concerned the body, there were two that concerned the mind. Language, philosophy, logic, the arts. Achilles taught most often of the assassins and Templars, their structures, origins, and purpose. Centuries of history condensed into a few short days. I told him of the men who had burned my village, of Charles Lee, and my promise to him. Achilles explained that Lee and his followers were Templars, and that they were led by none other than my own.
Good morning.
To you as well. You taking a trip?
I've decided to do something about the house, and you're going to help me. Get it?
And the classic loading screens. Which are all but gone in the later ones, aren't they? Like, they're still kind of there, but... yeah. Just like that, they don't last very long. And we're back at Boston.
Don't stare.
Sorry.
Come on.
Sure does love swapping between its seasons, doesn't it?
This place is incredible. The people, the sounds and smells. I could walk these streets for days and know not even half its wonders.
I thought the same as you upon a time. These days, I much prefer the quiet of the countryside.
But there is so much life here. So many opportunities.
For a few, my boy. For a few.
It's definitely nice to be back in the city area, though. Showing off some of the density with the FPS boost, which is nice. The lighting changes so much in this one. It's just strange.
There's a store close to here. You're to buy the items on this list. Tell them where the carriage is, and they'll see that it's loaded. Understood?
Yes.
Good. You're also going to need a new name. Your skin is fair enough that you might pass for one with Spanish or Italian blood. Better to be thought a Spaniard than a native. And both are better still than I.
That is not true.
What's true and what is aren't always the same.
What would you call me then?
Kana. Yes, that will be your name. All right then, off you go.
Anyways, great to be back in the city, kind of showing this area off. Because again, this is kind of one of the more true tests, and I'm assuming why there's a little bit more of a harder demand on this game, tech-wise, is just because of the density and the crowds that were sort of improved upon and added in this release. Yeah, it's good to be back here. Although it was nice last time we were here, and sunny and everything, and yeah, it definitely has changed. Anyways, that's Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. Be sure to check out Liberation 2. That one deserves a little bit of love. But yeah, it's a big sacrifice on resolution. Great upgrade with the frame rate. Feels really, really good for this title. And it definitely presents a lot of things to do. Collectibles, gathering stuff, hidden secrets, missions. The extra DLC is added in. And just a plethora of different experiences to have as you enjoy one of the larger scale Assassin's Creed titles of the older era.